Well, let's talk about the most exciting thing that happened at the Galaxy event, the new Galaxy Fold. How crazy does that look?
You know what? It looks great, Dan. We
Yeah.
we saw that prototype back in October or November. I think it was October, and it was in this big chunky case. And we're like, oh, what is this? It looks like a cube of butter that he just pulls out. And oh, cool. But this one's definitely sleeker. It's beautiful. So some of the things, I'll just go through the specs here. There's one small screen on the outside. It's a 6.4 inch. One large screen
That's
on.
the thing that
Yeah,
bothered me a little bit. Can we talk about that?
sure. Let's talk about
Why
it.
didn't they just make it the whole thing? It's
Make the
it's a,
whole side. Maybe they're
yeah.
saving battery power. I don't know.
When I saw it, it's this little dinky screen, and I thought it would be cool if it was, the wraparound OLED, like the
Yes.
whole
Yeah.
that kind of bothered me about it.
I gotta admit, it's not the most beautiful design choice on that. That's for sure. And then when you open it up, it's a 7.3-inch large tablet screen, and it's beautiful. It's flat. You don't see a crease at all. I think they did a fabulous job with it. But it's
Amazing.
got this eyebrow. It's like up in the top
Oh,
right-hand corner, they've got all these selfie cameras, and it's
okay.
like this eyebrow that's like, "Rrr," and I'm like, oh, that is a terrible notch. That
So is it when you fold it in half, is it going to be honking huge? Like
well, and
honk,
that's
honk
some
in
of
your pocket?
the people haven't really been able to hold it. They had it in like a big thing of glass at WMC, but they're saying that when it's folded, it's got the way the hinge works. There's still space on the inside, kind of like
Oh,
the Surface laptop, the
sure.
Microsoft Surface laptop. It's got that beautiful hinge, but it doesn't close flat. And
Right.
so that's one of the things people are saying about it as well. It doesn't really close flat. It still goes quite thin and fits in your pocket, but it's not as thin as they would like it to be because of the way the hinge is set up.
Maybe it would work well for someone with a purse or a messenger bag. But
Yeah.
it might be tough to put in your jeans folded up.
So it's an interesting design because they wanted to fold it closed. And we've seen three different prototypes out there for different ways of handling folding phones. So the Samsung Fold folds inwards and then has an exterior screen that you can see and use it as a phone. And then when you want a tablet, you open it up. And the advantage of that is you protect the screen on the inside.
Oh, that's true.
So that's kind of nice. But then we also have the Huawei Mate 10 or X. I think it's called the X. The Huawei Mate X is coming out this summer, and they had a prototype at WMC, and it's different. It actually folds out, so it only has one screen.
There's
So
no screen on the back?
no. So when it's closed, there's a complete wraparound screen. And depending on what side you're looking at, it knows. And so it will show your phone
Oh,
on either of those wraparound screens. So they actually call it a three phone. Um, is it a three phone? No, or two. Yeah, it folds into three phones. So it's got a large outside screen when it's closed, which is one of the exterior ones, and it's an 8 inch.
right.
And then it's got a smaller one on the back that's a 6.6 inch. Sorry, 6.6 in the front, 6.38 in the back, and when you open it up as a tablet, it's 8 inch.
That sounds better to me because then, you're always using the screens, where with the Samsung one, it's just that small dinky one, right? And there's nothing on the
Yes.
back.
So that is an advantage, right? And then they also turn off the screens that you're not looking at. So if you've got it folded up, they're not going to turn on the back screen when you're looking at the front screen. And both of these phones, so the Galaxy Fold comes with 6 cameras. So
Dang.
it has two selfies, three rear, and one on the cover. So that smaller, crazy looking screen that we don't like so much, it's got a selfie camera there. And then the Huawei Mate X has 4 cameras, but it's bezel-less and it has no notch. So I'm not sure how it works with selfies because you only have one screen. So it has cameras on the back, and maybe you can only take non-selfie pictures. I'm not really sure how that works. And the other thing that's interesting about the Huawei Mate X is instead of having the fold problem like the Galaxy Fold where it's got this gap in the middle, it actually has a wing on the end of it. So imagine
Yes.
if it's flat like this, and I'm for our listeners, I'm holding my hand flat, but then it's got like this bubble. They call it a wing, and it's like this chunky part of the phone, and they call it a handle wing, and it balances out the tablet. And they say, see, this chunky part, we made it ergonomical so that you can hold it and it balances out and you don't have this slippery tablet with no bezels, right? Because how do you hold a tablet with no bezels without dropping it on the floor? So I personally think this design was set up so they could fit all the guts in it and make it
Yeah.
look super slim and sexy. And then there's kind of spinning it as, oh, it's ergonomic. But the people who have been able to hold it, they say actually it kind of works. Like you need something that you can hold on to and it is quite well balanced.
Well, that's interesting that you bring that up because when I saw them online, I thought the Huawei one looked kind of chunky and not so cool, right? Where the Samsung one, just how it bent and fit together looked a little more well thought out to me.
Hmm. Now, there's a really cool design that we've only seen in a leaked video. I think leaked on purpose. Can we call that leaked? But anyways, it shows the owner of Xiaomi, and he's got a double hinge. So he's got the tablet open, and then he bends both edges. So it's
Oh,
like a quarter of each side of the phone bends and flips around. So it's still an outside screen, very
got
much like
it.
Huawei's is, but then it bends into a smaller phone, and so you're watching the middle, it just goes boop, and it's smaller.
That's
So
cool. But if you flipped it around, there would be a line in the center
there'd
because
be a
it would,
line in the center, and what's
yeah,
the point? But why would you look at the back of your phone? You just want it to be smaller, right? So,
sure.
but here's the other problem. Both Huawei and Xiaomi have the exterior screen so that when you're folding, your screen's still on the outside. And they haven't been able to figure out anything with like Gorilla Glass that bends. So that's the problem they've got. It's a polymer, it's plastic. And so I see it getting scratched up. You're probably going to want to put it inside like some kind of a soft case so that when you put it in your phone, your bag, or your purse, your bag, whatever you're putting it into, it's not going to scratch it all up.
You're gonna put it in your purse, Matt?
Yes. It looks so luxurious. We should also talk about the prices.
Okay.
These are not
Is
cheap,
it
Dan.
crazy?
Yes. So,
Okay.
so you think buying a $1,100 phone is expensive,
It is.
like
It's
iPhone?
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Galaxy Fold is the cheapest
Okay. How
at
much are we talking?
1,980, so
Oh my
$1,980,
gosh.
and that's the cheapest.
Really?
Oh yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, but you can order it right now, Dan. You can pre-order it, and
Okay, I'll
yeah,
just send $1,900 over there and that's it.
yeah,
It'll
plus
come right to
tax.
my door. Yeah, plus taxes.
And then the Huawei Mate 10 is
Oh my
$2,600.
gosh. That's
Yes.
what is that, like 5,000 Canadian? You're never buying that, man.
Well, it's probably like 33,
I
thirty-four
could
hundred.
buy
It's
a new car,
Yeah,
lease a
my first car was
Tesla for
500 bucks.
yeah.
And of course, we don't know how much the Xiaomi phone is. We just saw a prototype, but these are expensive. And even the reviewers are saying you're not going to go buy this phone. These phones are really just showpieces that
Of what's
Samsung
to come.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just showing off. They're like, look what we can do. And in fact, Huawei said in their event at the World Mobile Congress, they said foldable phones are the biggest change in mobile technology since the iPhone put the internet in your pocket.
Totally.
And it's huge. Like when the iPhone went to a big screen, that was revolutionary. And Huawei is saying this is the same kind of revolution. It's going to completely change the way we interact, not just with our phones, but with technology in general. So I kind of agree with them. I think there's a lot of neat things that are going to happen, but not with these phones, not with a $3,000 phone, right? The people that are going to be buying these are going to be like developers who want to figure out how to get their apps to work on these phones. It's going to be people who want to show off money, people who have like stuff to burn, and they're probably going to carry another phone anyways,
Yeah.
because I don't think it's going to be super usable. Pulling out your slippery wraparound foldable phone and
Your $2,600 foldable phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little gimmicky right now. But here's what I think. It bothers me that cell phones used to be a race to the bottom with how
Yes.
cheap can we get it? And then it seems like 2 or 3 years ago, it's a race to the top. How expensive can we make them?
Well,
So
and
my
Apple's still doing that, right? They're still extremely expensive.
what I want this to do is I want them to make these the $1,000 phones and then the flagships to be like 500, 600 again, like they used to be, please.
Please. Well,
Yes.
OnePlus is still doing it. I think OnePlus is awesome. And speaking of OnePlus, they actually had a prototype, a working 5G prototype that was at WMC. And
Cool.
we did see a working prototype of the Galaxy 5G at WMC, and they displayed how quick it is, how fast it works. So far we've only seen two working 5G prototypes, Samsung and OnePlus. And for such a small upstart company that OnePlus is, that's kudos, huge kudos for them for being able to put out a working prototype like that.